One of the biggest reasons people never actually change their shape is because they're constantly chasing the quickest result possible. Every time progress slows down, they panic, chuck more cardio in, less food, another challenge, another 6-week plan, another reset. But here is the truth. Actually changing your physique and changing your shape, they are two different things. In this video, I want to talk about what it actually takes to change your body shape long term, because most people are actually approaching this wrong. Now, a lot of people are scale obsessed, constantly dieting, impatient, and never staying consistent long enough to see long-term results. And a lot of people think that to tone up, build muscle, they need to lose more and more weight, when actually what they're missing is the muscle development side. You can't expect your body to look completely different if your entire approach is around eating less and less every single week, every single month. That is not how we build muscle, and it's not how we build and change your body shape. Now let's talk about weight loss versus changing your shape. Losing scale weight doesn't automatically mean your physique is developing. It's actually building muscle that changes your whole shape and how your body looks. Now, these photos here are years apart. It wasn't a quick fix. It was something that I developed over years and years. Consistent training, hitting it really hard in the gym, but also making sure that I was resting and recovering, because this is just as important if you are trying to build muscle. Two other major factors were staying consistent and also being patient. It's something that I feel we are lacking in today's society. No one is patient anymore. If you want to see some serious results, you have to stay consistent and you have to be patient in what you are trying to achieve. A physique is built in phases, and this is something that I do a lot of work on with my clients. You have to go through phases of building, pulling back, building, pulling back. And every time you go through that process, you will get better and better with how your body composition looks. You can't just keep pushing food up and training hard without body fat levels at some point increasing. So at some point you will need to bring body fat levels down, allow your body to become responsive again, and then push again into another building phase. I do feel that social media has made people think that they can completely transform their body in 6 to 8 weeks. We can access so many different challenges out there where you can create X, Y, and Z in a certain time frame. And yes, although you can really see some good results in that small time frame, when you are trying to completely transform your shape, this is what takes time. Real physique development can get boring. You have to do things on repeat. You have to make sure you're staying as consistent as possible. You are going to feel uncomfortable. You are going to feel impatient at times. And I think when you're in a building phase and you're trying to build some muscle and build some shape, we don't see results like you would do in a dieting phase. So then we can switch off a little bit and we start to think that we are not seeing results and we are not pushing towards what we're trying to achieve, when actually the building phases are probably the most important parts of your physique development. And it's months of consistency before we even see huge changes happen. Now, here's what actually works. Number one, training with intent. Are you going into your sessions and you are making sure that you are giving it your all? Are the last 3 to 5 reps really challenging and you're feeling very uncomfortable in your sessions? If your last rep looks like your first rep, you're not training hard enough in my eyes. You need to make sure that you are pushing to failure. You are training really hard and you're making that movement intense, but you're also making it feel uncomfortable. Number 2, progressive overload. Make sure that you are logging your sessions. Now, progressive overload doesn't mean adding the weight every single time you do that session. There are other ways we can see progression in your gym sessions. Now, that could be through the tempo, so making sure you're slowing it down, you're adding pauses, you're stretching in a certain movement, you're contracting and holding in a certain position. We can also look at things like making sure your form is absolutely spot on every single rep before you then progress the weight up. Are you managing to go past your rep range a little bit? So let's say you are on a 8 to 10 rep set and you manage to hit 12 reps with that weight and you've progressed that weight for a couple of weeks. I would say that you're now ready to up that weight in the next time you do that session, which means by upping the weight, you're probably going to sit more back in the 8 to 10 rep range again. Number 3, are you eating enough to build? If you're constantly in a calorie deficit, you are not going to build muscle. Now, this doesn't mean you have to get fat. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a huge calorie surplus. Around just maintenance or just above and in a very slight surplus will see you building muscle if you are training effectively and you are resting and recovering well. Number 4, recovery. Rest and recovery are so important, and keeping stress levels down as well. No matter what phase you are in, stress can really affect what you're trying to do. Now, rest and recovery, you can only grow from what you recover from. So you can hit the gym 5-6 times a week, but are you ever recovering from that? Everyone's recovery capabilities are different. Some people will be able to recover more from more volume. Some people might need less volume. This is something you would have to monitor over time, but making sure that you are recovering and resting and doing all you can for that is super important. Number 5, being consistent along with patience. These two for me go hand in hand and they have to be there. I've touched on this briefly already, but if you are consistent as possible, we're not looking for perfection, but if you are consistent as possible, that is going to see you getting results. And if you are patient, knowing that a building phase takes time and you're not going to see physical changes as quickly as when you are in a calorie deficit and you are dieting, then that is what matters the most. And number 6, structured phases. Understanding that you have to have structured phases to be able to build muscle correctly. Now, the clients that I work with, the clients that get the best results are usually the ones that are doing it for the longest, and they are the ones that are being as consistent and patient as possible. That doesn't mean they're going to be perfect every day, but they are sticking at it for the long game. If you want to see serious results, you've got to be in this for the long game. Now, I just want to touch upon a little bit of my own experience. So when I first started training 15, 16 years ago now, I made some huge mistakes. I would overtrain. I would train 6-7 days and then I'd throw in a rest day. I would train through illness. I wouldn't rest and recover nowhere near what I should have been doing. And I actually feel like I wasted a good 3 to 4 years of development within my physique. But I never kick myself for that. Sometimes you have to go through that process of learning what is incorrect to be able to then develop your physique in a really, really solid way. So if it wasn't for me experiencing them mistakes, I wouldn't be where I am today. Now, I've gone through many building phases, many dieting phases, many preps for competition to be able to get to where I am. And as soon as you understand and value every single phase that you go through, it makes the process not only more enjoyable, but you understand the importance of each phase and why it's there. Now, if this is something you feel you are doing, you're training hard, you're ticking every box that you need to tick, and you are still not seeing results, if you actually want to really change your body shape, try to be patient in the phases you are doing. Try to stop looking for the quickest available route possible to get to where you want to be. There's nothing more rewarding than hard work. It really is true when you say hard work pays off. I always find that the physiques that people admire the most are the ones that weren't built quickly. So for you to look back and think, oh my God, it's taken me 10 years to build this, I think that is such a rewarding feeling and so much more of an achievement to look back on that progression that you've done. You've built it through years of patience and structure and consistency and constant repetition. And that for me is a huge win. And it's something that I do a lot of work on with my own clients. So if you enjoyed this video and you want more honest education around training, nutrition, and actually building your physique properly, make sure you subscribe and let me know what else you would like to see in the comments below. If you want any information with regards to working with myself and joining the team, everything you will find in the description on my channel. Thank you for watching.